And welcome into Getting Help from Uncle Sam. Well, you know, the election happened, and then again, the runoffs are going to happen. They're going to be on March 31st. It's a Tuesday, the last Tuesday of the month. And in the runoff today, we have with us one of the candidates for the Congressional District, House District number 2, Barry Moore. First of all, young man, congratulations.
Congratulations.
And, you know, the last time we were here, we kidded and said, okay, now, buddy, if you get elected, you got to come back to the show. and you kept your promise. You're here.
First time you called. So congratulations, condolences, I don't know, but we're happy to be here all the same. It's been a long run, and man, we were so blessed to have our people turn out and vote, and it's been a great event and experience.
Yeah. Well, you know, it was a very crowded field. Yeah. And that's
yeah, there were 7 candidates, and one spent over $2 million. So the fact that we came in second, we saw early on, we moved the needle, grassroots for us, just getting to the people, because I've always believed, and I may have said it before, but we actually campaign among the people because we want to govern among the people. We don't want to govern from an ivory tower. So we want the people to know who we are and what we're about. So over the years, we've been fortunate to build a good grassroots organization, and that's consistent. They show up. You know, you don't move the needle really fast because you don't buy a lot of media, but at the end of the day, they're with you till the end because they know you.
Yeah, they knew you from the time that you served in the State House.
That's right.
So now it's just a bigger house.
That's just a bigger house, the same process.
But the interesting thing is there's a lot more crazy people in the house you're trying to get into.
Yes, sir.
Here, we're okay.
That's right, that's right. We had 105 House members here, there's 435 in Congress. But the one group that I have really enjoyed to get to know in D.C. was, I met with them before the impeachment started, was the House Freedom Caucus. And you know, Mark Meadows, the chairman, has been named the Chief of Staff for Trump. So when I first went, I was, you know, I'm a Freedom Caucus guy. I was really conservative in the Alabama legislature, and I always voted my convictions. And so the meeting with the Freedom Caucus the night before the impeachment started, and getting to see those 35 or 38, however many patriots in that room, knowing that they were fighting really for the will of the American people, and that the White House was working closely with them, I felt like I fit right in. Being the first to endorse Trump, being the only Trump delegate, you know, in the race, and then seeing that team of conservatives work so closely with the White House, felt like I belonged, felt like I was right at home.
Okay, number one thing when you get there, what do we have to address on a national perspective?
I think there's a couple things, but certainly the deficit spending has to be addressed. And Dan Crenshaw's got a Year-End Fiscal Responsibility Act that's going to quit zero-based budgeting, or start zero-based budgeting right now. If the government agencies don't spend all that money by the end of the fiscal year, then they lose it the next year. So it's like giving your children an allowance and saying, oh, by the way, if you don't spend it all, you don't get any allowance next week. And you just don't want bureaucrats doing that. You want to say, hey guys, we're going to support the idea of saving taxpayers' money. And we'll start you out next year, but anything you can save to help us address that deficit issue, it's going to be a big part of the process.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many hidden taxes that are out there. It's unbelievable.
It really is, and you know, really taxes are just a violation of individual freedom, because the government takes that money and it removes the opportunity for you to make that choice in your life of what do you want to do with your money. So that's just one step. I think we have to go back to the fundamental freedoms and conservative ideas of allowing people the opportunities, no taxes and regulations that restrict people from doing what God created them to do, because a lot of times, you know, you get into a situation where you don't have opportunities because of either taxes and regulations. You know, Ronald Reagan said the government's idea on the economy is if it's moving, you tax it. If it keeps moving, you regulate it. When it fails, you subsidize it. Well, if we get the taxes and regulations out of the way, we wouldn't need your subsidies to survive. You know? So there's a lot of opportunity for us in D.C. to fix some things, but deficit spending is number one. We've certainly got to address the issues at the border, and we've got to make sure that we maintain the integrity of the elections so that we do not have foreign interference from people who are not here legally voting in our elections, because that simply will undermine the fabric of this nation.
True. I have a question. Most of our audience is going to want to know two things. They want to know where you stand on Medicare and Social Security.
Well, those are two systems that were put in place, and that money has been paid in. It belongs to those individuals. And what we've done, we've allowed Congress to kind of raid that over the years and use it and basically do IOUs. But that is your money. You paid that money into the system. Yeah, I mean, that should not be
an entitlement.
No, it's not an entitlement because it's bought and paid for by your sweat of your brow and hard work, and so therefore that has to be protected. And I think the president would agree with me on that, and I think he's going to do some great things. The time I've spent with him, I know that he appreciates American citizens, our veterans and our seniors. And so
Right.
I have a great relationship with the White House and have for a period of time. I think it can help our district, and I think we can get some help from the president. But he does love the American people, and he loves our seniors, he loves our veterans. Like I said, he loves the American people in general. I think that's why he's doing this.
How can they find out more information about you? Because I think that's very important.
Go on Barrymore Republican for Congress on Facebook, or either www.barrymoreforcongress.com. Learn who we are, find out what we're about.
Good.
Excellent.
And he does answer calls.
I do.
Well, I know you're going to be hard at work, but thank you so much for coming. And again, you've got the invitation to come anytime you like.
Call me anytime you need.
We'll do it. And
Best
just
of
remember
luck.
this,
Best
it's
of
right
luck.
around the corner. Make sure that you do your homework, but more importantly, get out and vote, and we'll be right back right after this.